Hey, it's Jim here. It is Thursday, September 14th, 2023. And as I said in the previous update, today was my appointment with my uh, Neuro. It was first thing this morning at 8. She's really great. I got in there and out in like 15 minutes. I got in and explained to her that, I had the rheumatology referral. They said, no, that's an ortho problem. So I went to the ortho and they said, no, it's not an ortho problem, that you've got a small tear on your uh, uh, in your shoulder, but that's not, what's causing all this pain. And that uh, that probably needed a muscle biopsy. So I talked to the neuro about that, and I explained that both of the neuro that had done my EMG as well as my ortho had all said that Tulsa isn't the place to do this. Maybe Oklahoma City. Uh, but that even then they weren't sure who to go to get good results. That evidently this is something that people mess up a lot. And my neuro agreed, and she said that the two places she sends people are Kansas, the University of Kansas, or to where I've already been, to the Cleveland Clinic. But that's like a 15-hour drive. So I told her, I would prefer not to do the 15-hour drive. I don't feel comfortable flying anymore just because of the whole, it's pituitary related. I didn't go into all that, but to me, things have gotten worse when I've gotten on a plane. So uh, and she said that was great, fine, and she was going to, and she immediately walked out to refer me to University of Kansas before she came back in to finish up the appointment. And so they're supposed to contact me within the next several days for that referral, and we'll see how that goes. I was thinking last night, uh, I seem upbeat. Sorry, I've been eating. I seem upbeat in my recordings, I think most of the time. And, I mean, it's really my only choice is to try to be, as upbeat as I can. But I mean, there are days like yesterday, my arm was hurting so much. Uh, I had, so it hurts if you touch it, and then it just keeps hurting. Is just the way I would put it. So it's very difficult to sit in a chair and put your arm down because that leads to a long period of pain. And if I was to massage my arm, for example, that leads to a long period of pain. Uh, and and uh, so and it's not consistent as far as like on which days it hurts and which days and how it hurts. And so I'm just doing the best I can. I can tell you that I can't hold myself up off the ground anymore, like with a push-up with my right shoulder. I think that the 25% tear that they saw in my rotator cuff is probably more now. I think that, but because that was 3 weeks ago when they had the MRI done, and between then and the follow-up. So I'm guessing, there's more tear now, which I think would surprise them if they were to get in there and look. But just doing what I just did, okay, just where I reached over and I touched my arm, it hurts now from me touching it. And like I said yesterday, I think it's just, I have a really high pain threshold, and I just pull my way through it, but it's not fun, and it's not what I want life to be like. If you told me, hey, I could cut off your arm today and you wouldn't have to deal with this, I would say, well, man, I'm gonna have to really adjust. But I would gladly go for that. And that's not going to be a solution. I'm not saying that that's a solution. It's not a solution because I've got issues going on other places. The stiffness is in my left side, and it's just it didn't attack like it did in the right side. I can't explain it better in that the right side got attacked. It got stiff and immediately started having these like tearing sensations when I would go to use the arm, versus this left side has not had that happen. And I can't explain why, how, or anything like that. I don't know. Anyway, and one other thing that I hadn't mentioned was that I weigh myself about once a week or something like that. It's been very consistent that I've been right around 150 pounds. And I weighed myself, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, and I forgot to mention this, and I had gained 10 pounds since the last time that I weighed myself. Uh, and once I looked in the mirror, I could tell it was just all water weight that I put on, and it's like I said, this messes with your electrolytes and your water balance. And so I've gained this water weight, all around my middle. And I lost about 5 pounds of that 10 pounds over the next 2 days. But I still have about 4 or 5 pounds of it. And you would think, oh, well, you could lose 4 or 5 pounds. No, I mean, with this condition, with how it turns my cells apoptotic and everything, my fat cells, they don't do what other people does. So all the weight change that you get with this condition is water and electrolytes. And uh and so, for whatever reason, my body has retained more fluid, which probably isn't a good sign. I don't know. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else to say. I'm done with appointments right now, waiting for the referral to the University of Kansas. I'm not sure if that's at Lawrence or it's in Kansas City for their medical facilities. But either way, yeah, that's the next step. I'm just trying to punch it day to day. I'm working today, just like I do every day. I would say I probably work at about 50% of my efficiency, which is, I mean, it's decent, but it's not great. I'm doing the best I can though. So Bitcoin's up some today. Looking over here at my little digital chart, I should hold this up sometime for you. It showed me there's 26,600, so it's bounced off of its $25,000 low it hit this last week, and coming back up. Keep buying. I've been buying $1 an hour this week. Just because it was down, I'm like, hey, might as well buy it while it's cheap, because it's going to keep going up. I've got a lot of theories. I wish I was going to be here to see them all play out, but I can tell you, oil at $90 is going to look cheap in 5 or 10 years, and Bitcoin at $26,000 in 5 or 10 years is going to be the bargain of the century. Make your plans accordingly. And I guess that's it for today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, immediate plans for the future. Hey, I won my first fantasy football game this last weekend. I picked up a pretty good receiver that nobody even bothered to pick up. Let's see, what's his name? So we'll see if this was a good call or not. Who did I pick up? I picked up I can't even say his name. I feel ashamed to say. Puka Nakwa with LA. But anyway, he had like 15 targets or something like that, and even though he didn't have a touchdown. So I traded off Clyde Edwards-Helaire for him. And won my first game. So, I'm going to keep on going. I got Old Man Band next week, and we'll just keep updating, and hey, buy some Bitcoin. Like I said, you'll thank me later. All right, that's it for today. Hey, please spread my story. People deserve to know that there are medical conditions that have been hidden from the public, and this is a real thing, and it changes your physiology. It's terminal onset diabetes insipidus with candidiasis major. Yeah, it's iatrogenic, so I caused it, but I had a condition that was from hypernatremia that I think other people would probably perish from without this solution. being on the table. So anyway, there's probably a lot of people that die from hypernatremia that shouldn't. They could either be treated with this or the alternate solution that was given in the article, but they just don't pick up on it in time. And I picked up on it and I saved myself. And I'm grateful for these 28 years. I'm grateful for my dogs, my kid, my wife, my house, the electric car that I drive, the places I've got to go, the events I've got to see. And I feel like, I did that I wouldn't have done that if I hadn't uh, basically signed up for this illness. So, I think that's one reason why I just kind of have to face it, is that, hey, I knew going in, I signed up for it. And so I deal with it. I really did make that commitment at the time. I'm like, can I live with all this stuff if it saves me right now? And obviously the answer is yes. I mean, obviously you extend your life. So I think I did the right thing. Uh, and I'm just punching day to day. Peace.